in very simple terms, the banks screwed a lot of people over. And people kind of came to the conclusion, the banks suck.
So do me a favour, imagine the audience is all 6 years old. Sorry audience, sorry guys, I know you've been listening, but just imagine they're 6 years old. I know there's going to be some people going, I know everything about crypto, but for you guys, you can go and listen to something else for the next 5 minutes. But for everybody else, the thousands of you that are out there listening to this, we're going to get a lesson in crypto. So take it away. We're all 6. How does it work? What's going on?
Well, firstly, it's definitely not gambling, so that's the first thing to clarify. But when we get into the kind of meat and gravy of it all, this is kind of how it breaks down. So what people have heard of is Bitcoin, and everybody thinks that Bitcoin is crypto, and the two things are the same, and that is just not the case. It's a little bit more nuanced than that. So we need to break it down a bit. So there are over 10,000 different types of cryptocurrency, okay? Now, firstly, they shouldn't be called cryptocurrencies. A currency, obviously, to most people, is some type of method of paying, right? So you're in Dubai, you've got dirhams, other people have dollars, pounds, euros, yen. So people think that these 10,000 different types of cryptocurrencies are 10,000 ways to pay people, and that's stupid. Why do you need that many? So it just all must be rubbish, right? That is not the case. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency, and it was designed to be a form of currency, an online internet monetary system. Fine. But what people haven't separated in their mind is that the vast majority of all these other coins, tokens, and projects are actually not anything to do with financial payments. You wouldn't ever say that Facebook does the same thing as Microsoft because both of them have a website. You know, you're drawing massive parallels that aren't necessarily there. So in order to kind of understand this the next level, so if you firstly think all these different coins, think of them as different businesses performing different business activities is the best way to separate them in your head. So rather than cryptocurrencies, think of them as crypto tokens or crypto shares, more traditionally like a stock portfolio, let's say. So what you have to appreciate is the reason why Bitcoin came first and what was so special about it was that when it was created, ultimately, where did it come from? So we flick our minds back to 2008, the big financial crisis, which no doubt all of your listeners are very familiar with. And what happened there was, in very simple terms, the banks screwed a lot of people over. And whatever trust was left within that sector was entirely evaporated. And people kind of came to the conclusion, the banks suck. So there's got to be a better way of dealing with money than trusting this bank, okay? So ultimately what they did is they thought, well, why do we need to trust these banks, these third-party institutions? There must be a way that I can pay you, Spencer, in Dubai directly. You know, if you were stood next to me, we could give each other cash, easy peasy. But you're at the other side of the world, so how do we do that? The only way we can do it today is through the banking system. So there's got to be a better way. And ultimately, this is what created what led to Bitcoin, but more importantly, the underlying technology, which is the real secret sauce of all of this.
The way you explain that just in that moment makes me think of somebody disrupting an industry. So whether it be Uber with taxis or Airbnb with hotels, It's almost like, you know, with the hotel industry, Airbnb were like, this system doesn't work. It's not effective. There's a better way of doing it. And then like with the taxi industry, do you see some similarities in what I'm saying?
Without question. And here's the thing: if I said to people, the average person on the street that was fairly well educated in this, if I was to say what got disrupted with Bitcoin, people's immediate answer that probably know a little bit would probably be money. And that's kind of right, but the real answer, which is this underlying secret sauce, is what is blockchain technology? Because this underlying technology band is the powerhouse between, that's the kind of system, if you would, that all these other coins and processes run on, Bitcoin just being one of them. So in order to understand cryptocurrencies or crypto tokens or crypto shares, you need to understand the meat and gravy of what is blockchain. And in real simple terms, what this is just blocks of information that you can contain data, finance, basically any type of data information in these little blocks. And the unique thing about this, again, all came from this idea of Bitcoin and this ability to want to pay other people, is that why do I need to send money to the banks in order for that bank to send money to you? Why can't I pay you directly? So the whole premise of blockchain was that, well, okay, Spencer, I want to send money directly to you, but how do we verify independently that I've sent you money? Because what if I just said I did and I didn't? So the whole premise of blockchain was that anybody in the network can check that transaction. So in really simple terms, all these blocks of information just get populated on what's a glorified spreadsheet called a blockchain. And that means anyone in the ecosystem can publicly check that I sent coins to you at that time, at that date, at that place.
Well, wasn't that an interesting conversation we just had there with Josh? For a guy to be able to make things simple. That's a very complicated world, the crypto world, the blockchain world, and most of us, if we're honest, don't really understand it. Well, people like Josh are helping us to understand much better. And I for certainly picked up on some stuff. Alicia here that's in the studio as well with us was nodding her head away. She was getting great benefit from it too. And I'm sure that you took some notes and took some benefit from that as well. If you enjoyed this episode, you can see more episodes over here. But if you want to subscribe and see all of the episodes, click over there, press the bell button. And every time I produce a piece of content, it will come straight to you.